Clicking.
You're just, man. So,
Ready to go. Right here. I'd like to bring the City of Columbus Grant Commission December meeting to order concerning preliminary business of street. Nope. And we shall call the first case. It is GC 21-040, 5150 East Dublin Granite Road. Would the applicants please come forward? Anyone that'd like to speak to the case, I'd like to come forward. Where you seated, sir? First. Give you a second. Clerk, I'd like to introduce yourself to God.
I do.
Would you put your name for the record, your affiliations to this case?
I'm Roger Kessler with Kessler Sign Company.
I do. I forgot to say that. Jim Lytle with, I work in the signage consultant for Ohio.
Thank you, sir. Stan. Welcome to introduce yourself to God.
you do?
Would you repeat your names and the record and your affiliations to these cases?
Jamie Freeze, City Columbus staff.
Bill Bennett, City of Columbus staff.
Sierra Summoning, City of Columbus staff.
Thank you. So let's do this one. Let's finish.
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 5150 East Dublin Granville Road is located at the southwest corner of East Dublin Granville Road and North Hamilton Road, served by the Northland Community Council and zone limited commercial. The 5.5 acre site is developed with a 3-story office building and associated parking. There is vehicle access on East Dublin Granville Road to the north and Old Dublin Granville Road to the south, and the public entrance is toward the interior of the site. Surrounding uses include a single unit dwelling to the west, undeveloped commercial land to the west, north, and south, hotel to the north, and restaurants and developing commercial land to the east. The applicant has been issued a plethora of signage permits, one 20-foot ground sign directed to North Hamilton Road, two 6-foot ground signs directed to East Dublin Granville and Old Dublin Granville Roads, wall and canopy signage on the west elevation totaling 198 square feet, wall signage on the south elevation totaling 222 square feet, and wall signage on the east elevation totaling 48 square feet. The applicant also proposes to install 2 additional wall signs on the east and north elevations and 2 roof signs on the east and north elevations. Graphic plan is required for roof signs, which will modify the number of additional sidewall signs from 1 to 2 and increase the graphic area for both from 16 square feet to 34.5. And as usual, I've outlined the requirements for the guidelines for roof sign approval under 3377.26 in the staff report. Northland Plan Volume 2 and the Northland Standards state that signage should be appropriate to zoning district and roadway characteristics, compatible with surroundings, and integrated with the design of the development. Graphics shall reflect a uniform design and floodlighting of elevated signs is discouraged. The proposed graphics in question demonstrate a uniform design and are compatible with the surroundings and design of the building. For these reasons, planning supports the proposal. And the Northland Community Council recommended approval of the request. Staff can recommend approval, and the proposal is consistent with the area plan and standards in that the signage reflects a uniform design and is compatible with the surroundings and the design of the building. So in the PowerPoint, you'll see all the signage that's proposed and approved on the site, as well as the signage that requires the graphics plan. Be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Bill, would you like to present your case?
Sure. I'm Roger Kessler, Kessler Sign Company. Two signs in question, urgent care on the east elevation, urgent care on the north elevation. With merging traffic there, there's several lanes of traffic going a number of different ways. So it's important that people find the urgent care. It's also important that people know that it's Ohio Health. It would be an undue hardship if someone went to Ohio Health and only their insurance would cover another carrier. So it's important that everyone goes to the right carrier so you don't get a bill for $1,000 for a stitch, we'll call it, and find out that you weren't covered because of your carrier. Getting into the right lanes, merging our entrances are kind of obscured if you're not familiar with the area, with both of them being on Old Dublin and New Dublin, Granville Road. So I'll entertain any questions.
Do you have any questions, Mr. Horton?
When, Mr. Kessler, when, the letters state they're backlit, do you mean the faces light up? They're not halo lit, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Back to the channel letters.
Just want to clarify that. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions? Does anyone else like to speak of this case? This is a graphics plan, so we'll have a motion to approve this.
We don't need a motion.
Do we need a motion for a graphics plan now?
We did vote on this. We don't need to. We're not finding
Yeah,
out.
vote on it then.
Need a motion to approve, no findings of fact.
We don't need.
Don't need any. It was a graphic plan for feature.
Well,
So we do need a motion to approve, right? Yeah, you just need to do a motion to approve and then a vote.
That's what I asked.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this plan as submitted and vote on it and get it going.
As, we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
After moved and seconded, let's vote on this as for the motion.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Bender,
Yes.
Mr. Cooperman,
Yes.
Mr. Hoy,
Yes.
Chair Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks, folks.
The next case is DC 21-141, 14 East 15th Avenue. The applicant, please come forward.
Yes,
Could you repeat your name for the record, your affiliation to this case?
Matthew Hansen, Campus Partners, applicant.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, again.
Yes. 14 East 15th Avenue is located on the east side of North High Street between 14th and 17th Avenue, served by the University Area Commission and Zone Commercial Plan Development. We did cover this last month, but I'll go ahead and read through it again. There were a couple changes made. The 7.2 acre site is currently being developed with a mixed commercial and residential development known as University Square or 15th and High. Current uses include Ohio State's campus to the west, retail and offices to the north, cultural center, religious facility, apartments and dwellings to the northeast, apartments and fraternities to the east, fraternities to the southeast, and retail dwellings and apartments to the south. The applicant proposes a graphics plan for future signage in this development. No specific signs are being proposed at the moment, only the process and standards for approving signs in the area. The plan requires a certificate of appropriateness from the UIDRB for signs along High Street, the avenues, and North Pearl Street. The plan allows standards for signage facing the square and along North Pearl Street that are less restrictive than the UIDRB guidelines and the zoning code, and includes wall projecting canopy and window signs. Along the square and Pearl Street, the aggregate area of signs would be allowed an increase in graphic area. And they will be using a mass factor of 4 for wall canopy and awning signs, and a mass factor of 3 for projecting signs. And for reference, both of those mass factors would be the next increment up from the code required mass factor, that setback and street type. That's what I just said here. These represent the next increments of allowable size for these types of streets and setbacks in heavy commercial areas. However, signage should be consistent with University District Plan Design Guidelines. The plan also specifies that Pearl Street should be treated as a street instead of an alley for the purposes of right-of-way encroachments and projecting sign standards. And manual changeable copy is permitted for signs approaching the right-of-way. The university area plan states that signs for storefronts in the same building should be of coordinated design in terms of style, size, material, lighting, color, support structures, and location on the building, reinforcing rather than competing with each other. Furthermore, the plan states that each ground floor tenant space or building, if a single tenant occupancy, should be provided one projecting sign, neither one wall sign or awning sign per street frontage. That signage not obscure significant architectural details, that sign be pedestrian oriented with a preference for wall and projecting signs, and that sign lighting minimize glare and lights village onto adjacent properties. Planning Division notes that the proposed graphics plan was approved by the UIDRB in May of 2021, and the plan is consistent with the recommendations of the area plan. University Area Commission recommended approval of the request, and staff can recommend conditional approval. The proposal is consistent with the recommendations of the area plan by virtue of being approved as such by the UIDRB. And we'll just reiterate what is already in the plan, and that's that a C of A from the UIDRB would be required for signs along High Street, avenues, and North Pearl Street.
Hanson, how about summarizing how this is different from the last thought?
So as requested by the commission, we've added some curbs, as Mr. Benich has stated. For projecting signs, we're going from a mass factor of 1 to 3, and for wall signs, mass factor of 2 to 4. You'll also see that we provided you with sort of a general vocabulary of what our signs will look like at 15th and High Development, and a collection of projecting signs, both 3 different sizes: large, medium, and kind of smallish, and addresses both vehicular, pedestrian traffic. And for wall signs, you'll see they're stated on the facade there, above entrances, very typical of what see in a normal urban setting. That's particularly important for us, especially for Pearl Alley, as we create a standard street vocabulary of signage along that.
Are there any questions? This is a graphics plan. And there are no conditions either, except for the UIDRB requirement, correct?
That's the only condition.
Then do I have a motion to approve this graphics plan?
I'll make a motion to vote on this as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Call the roll.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
Mr. Bender,
Yes.
Mr. Cooperman,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Chair Thompson.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You nailed it. Answer backwards.
Next case is GC 2142, 5346 to 5352 North. Board.
Pardon?
Take your time. Quick, choose up. Got,
I do.
could you put your name for the record and your affiliation to this case?
My name's Rebecca Green. I'm with Zoning Resources, and we're working with learner signs.
Thank you. Good man.
I'm Southern
Praise.
Michael. Okay, 5346 through 5352 North Hamilton Road, located on the east side of North Hamilton Road, approximately 475 feet north of Thompson Road. Site is zoned CPD Commercial Plan Development District and is located within the Northland Community Center. Site is built with a multi-tenant commercial building. Ground signs surrounding the site to the north, south, and east are commercial uses. Immediate west is a self-storage facility. The applicant, Caliber Collision, located on the rear parcel off-site, operates the automotive maintenance and repair operation to the east of the subject site. They propose to utilize a tenant panel on the new monument sign and replacing the existing sign. We do not have frontage along the North Hamilton Road corridor. And since they're located immediately behind the subject site, they're technically off premises and require a special permit. Approximately 850 feet north of the site, GC 20-041 was approved for a special permit for an off-premises sign in a similar proposal. Northland Plan Volume 2 states that large commercial developments could utilize integrated signage and avoid multiple freestanding signs. The Northland Community Council recommends approval of this request. The Northland Plan Volume 2 states that large commercial developments should utilize integrated signage and avoid multiple freestanding signs. As such, staff can recommend approval as the proposal is consistent with these guidelines, as it allows the applicant to combine a potential freestanding sign with an existing sign. The only condition we are requesting is the special permit is valid only for the property located on parcel 010-295-572, which is the parcel to the. Mr. Chairman, we'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Present your case.
Yes, Caliber Collision is, does not have any street frontage. And so it's asking to use put a tenant panel on a approved multi-tenant sign. If you look through the CBD text that is for these parcels, you will see that off-premises signage is not allowed, and the remedy is to come here to Graphics Commission, as well as, of course, the code itself. The Caliber Collision is just asking to be compliant with the terms of the CBD and at the same time be able to have some advertising along the road. The only access it has is through along the south. Those parcels, there is a left turn, right turn access through there to the Caliber Collision site. There's also access on the north side too, but that's a right in, right out access. And so it's important that the advertising along North Hamilton to be along the south there on this particular multi-tenant sign. Happy to take questions.
Thank you very much. Do you have a motion based on the facts of this case?
Well, it's special permit.
Or do you need it for a special permit? You don't. So then let's vote on this. There are no conditions other than the.
We have a motion to vote.
I'll make a motion to vote as presented.
Is there a second? I'll second.
Mr. Bender?
Yes.
Mr. Cooperman?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Hoyt?
Yes.
Chair Thompson?
Yes, and it's great, man. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
graphic plans and special permits. So those are the only variances, I guess, is what you need. They can provide, I mean, yeah, anything where you're performing kind of a quasi judicial function like an appeal or a variance, where you're making a decision based on specific facts and circumstances, that's where you need to do the finding of facts. If it's a graphics plan or special permit, just a majority vote.
Okay, thank you. Next application is 910 John Street, GC 21-043. The applicant is before.
Good evening.
Ma'am, first of all, introduce yourself, John.
I do.
Would you repeat your name for the record, your affiliations to this case?
I'm Jennifer Bender. Hello, Mr. Bender.
Hello to you.
I'm with Day Night Sign Company, and we are ultimately pulling the permits and building the sign for Cover My Meds.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You're not related to him, are you?
We are not. We've covered this.
You have to go with what she said.
That we know of.
Alrighty, 910 John Street is located on the northwest corner of John Street and North Hartford Avenue. It's within the Franklin Area Commission. It's zoned M Manufacturing District. The site is currently developed with Cover My Meds campus. Surrounding uses include Orange Barrel Media to the east, 670 to the north, and warehouse type businesses to the west and south. The applicant proposes to install a 20-foot pylon sign at the corner of John Street and North Hartford Avenue to serve as the headquarters sign for Cover My Meds campus. A variance is requested to reduce the setback from ground sign from 15 to 0 feet. The signage as proposed aligns with the Columbus citywide planning policies and the West Franklinton plan. Guidance on signage as proposed signage is designed to be logical and complementary component of the overall design of the site and keeps with the scale and size of building facades and general streetscape. Staff notes that the proposed sign is sited so that it's essentially internal to the development site, even though it's directly adjacent to the right-of-way due to limited access to the right-of-way previous to the recent development on the site. The Franklinton Area Commission recommended approval of this request, and staff can recommend approval as the proposed signage aligns with C2P2 and the West Franklinton Plan guidance on signage, as it's designed to be logical and complementary component of the overall design of the site. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you need to add something to your case here?
I don't have much to add. The only bit that I might add is that there are 2 large above-ground hot boxes in the ideal spot that we would love to have put the sign. That's not possible, and the legal positioning for the sign underneath that area is utilities that we have no control over.
Are there any questions?
I don't know if this is in this.
Oh, I did not put that one in there, but
The utility map.
yes.
There are no questions? Motion for finding of fact.
I make a motion that the sign is a very good and unique sign. I'd like it to move forward to vote.
Is it okay?
Well, that's what the finding of fact is a nice sign. What's the variance?
The variance is for 15 to 0. So you could say approve as staff presented, right? Or the.
Because of utilities.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you could, yeah, it's a variance, there needs to be a hardship. So
okay.
finding of fact related to the hardship.
So due to the location of the utility boxes.
You got that, Tony?
I'll make it.
Give a second on
I'll
that.
second that.
All in favor, you sign aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then do I have a motion for approval of the request?
I'll make a motion to approve based on the facts presented and the hardship that exists, that a variance should be granted to go from 15 feet setback to 0.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Then vote on it.
Ready, Mr. Bender,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
Mr. Cooperman,
Yes.
Chair Thompson.
Yes. That's approved. Thank you, ma'am, for coming in.
Thank you all.
Okay, business. That's all we have. Okay. And we are adjourned.
That utility situation, that's a finite for a square
Did
foot.
that deal.
Okay.
That's what it's.
Four times.
They've got that ground plan.
They did.